che mamari nina. Tura la ba. Kopana lana tula ba.
Greetings, this is the Terra Tools for Abundance. It's a show that I do monthly, hosted by Aloha Bukaye, and it's all about using tarot as a divination tool, balanced with the spiritual and the psychological and energetic. Basically, it gives us guidance on how we can best utilize and work with and flow with the current energies that are bigger than ourselves, whether it's planetary energies, whether it's our collective psyche, and it can help give some guidance around your own individual life. So the themes focused on are abundance, specifically in terms of defining and redefining abundance. A lot of us can imagine abundance as money or having enough resources. And sometimes when that falls into place in our lives, there can be an internal emptiness or not quite a feeling of fulfillment of abundance internally. So it works with themes and how-tos and suggestions and guidance of how to cultivate and manifest abundance internally and externally. So I spread out a spread of 10 cards, and I see a little story in the cards. The stories that I'm seeing is coming out of a cycle of death. Literally, the death card. A lot of people think the death card means death and dying, but it doesn't literally mean that all the time in the way that I read the cards. So death is a change of cycle, a change of scenery. Because it's a major arcana card, which are the 22 cards out of 76 which have Roman numeral symbols in front of them, usually in traditional decks. It symbolizes very much an internal death, internal change, internal shift in consciousness towards abundance. So there is the possibility of abundance by embracing your inner feminine. So the inner feminine applies to people who identify as men or women. And the inner feminine, usually when it comes to anything, is very much flowing, like water flowing. There might be a bit of structure, like a river of the banks, and the water flows downwards, or can be vast like an ocean. So how can you embrace your feminine to bring abundance into your life? And that might be a little bit around thinking out the box, not being too rigid, not feeling like you have to work really hard, but rather work smart in order to create and manifest abundance. A lot of people stuck in the 9-to-5 cycle of that grind, or being self-employed and feeling like you have to jam-pack work into your days in order to create wealth, financial wealth that is. Often that kind of thinking can keep one in a loop. So the feminine principle asks one to step back, to have some space, and to see where you can let go of what's not actually fulfilling your abundance in your life. And this can now apply to the material and the as well as your inner abundance. What can you let go of? Going back to the death card, it's a very much internal process of what can change within you in order to shift how you define abundance, and also shift how you can create the type of abundance that you want in your life. It might not be financial, but we all know resources do help in creating what our spirit and soul wants and needs to create. Okay, so there's potential in this full moon cycle to plant some seeds that can create abundance. So I've spoken about seeds and planting before. It might not grow right away. It might not even grow in the season, but it could be good in the future. So long-term investments, looking at projects and crypto coins where there are long-term benefits or investments. It's a good idea and a good time to stay away from get-rich schemes. So we've got these two cards. They're both 9 cards. This is the 9 of Pentacles, and this is the Nine of Swords. So you can see the feminine figure in this card is representing anxiety, overthinking, not wanting to look, not being able to see. And then we've got this beautiful Nine of Pentacles where she's planting seeds and harvesting her pentacles. She's watering some of her plants, some of the seeds that she's planted. So, in essence, this is where we're at. This is where you could be at, but there's an energetic influence of this. So this is worry, this is overthinking, this is stuck in old ways of thinking. So what can you do in your reality to think about your finances, think about your work, think about your love life, think about your relational life with friendships and family, your relationship with yourself? Where can you actually just pause, take a break, suspend yourself in time, like the wise hanged man who suspends himself in time upside down and hangs his head into the cosmos in order to give himself a break, first and foremost, but also to connect and see what's in the divine cosmos that can be rooted down on the ground, that can be applicable in one's life. So that's a message from the Hanged Man. So saying taking a break or slowing down, it's very much connected to slowing down and taking a break in the mind. One can be very slow physically in your life. Your schedule may be slow. You may be sitting down a lot and not doing much, but your mind is not slow. Your mind is all over the place. It's juggling multiple things. So it's a good time to find some mental clarity. See what long-term investments you can make. Long-term investment can be planting vegetables in your ground. It could be linking up with like-minded people or people who aspire or look up to, who are living lifestyles that you can relate with, but your lifestyle is not quite there. So hanging around with people that inspire and who you might aspire to live like is a good idea at this point. We've also got a lot of magician energy, which is really positive. Magician energy is about manifestation, creation, our ability to create our own realities and co-create our own realities. The thing with the magician, though, it's a beautiful energy, but the magician, in the story of the Major Arcana, being the first card, or rather the second card after the Fool, is not yet refined in how he manifests. So he figures out he has this ability to manifest, and suddenly he's just pointing his wand or his staff in any direction and manifesting all over the place. So that can be a good thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Maybe if you've been in a kind of very like lethargic and grungy and heavy or dense space, the magician energy is great to just kick up the dust and see that you can manifest and bring that energy into your world. And then the Nine of Pentacles, nines being consciousness and the ability to create consciously, can help guide that energy and direct it and focus it so that it's not so scattered. And then there are a lot of creativity. There's stuff around money, specifically finances or material possessions, where you might feel quite proud, and to a degree of like, yes, it's lovely and proud, and maybe you've achieved something amazing. There's just also a message to balance the pride and to remember where you can share or where you can empower someone else or someone else's, other people, to grow financially or material-wise. And in doing that, in knowing how to share your resources, if you are in an abundant space materially, can really bring a deeper thematic, collective energetic balance of power. So power is a big theme in life. There's empowering, there's overpowering, there's being disempowered, and resources do dictate that in many ways, in many circles, in real life. In the ideal and in some people's worlds, perhaps not. But yeah, okay, now refining that message, I think looking back into what you feel abundant in, what is abundant in your life, and contemplating that and seeing where you can share with another, where you can share with other people. Whether it's just something you know and you can share with someone who is interested. Or it can be spring cleaning things that you don't really use and giving it to someone who will really appreciate it and create that catalyzing energy of abundance and flow and balancing the ability to give with the ability to receive too. So those are some of the themes. Like I said, with the crypto world, take it slow, look for projects that are meaningful to you, avoid get rich quick schemes or making any hasty decisions. Take a mental break from overthinking or worrying, releasing worrying and seeing where you can fill your mind with a lot more useful things in order to catalyze that energy of abundance. I'd also recommend defining abundance for yourself. What is abundance to you? What does that mean? Is it something external to you? Is it more internal? That's all relative to your own world. There's no right or wrong, of course. I think that's all that is presenting itself today. I wish you goodness and flow on your abundance journey, and all my details are in the link below so that you're welcome to book a private tarot session or leave a comment. Blessings and goodness.